Morning, everybody. It's 8:31 on this Tuesday morning, the 4th of June, and this is your pre-opening comment. It is video number 2176. Asia and Europe are both lower on the follow-through from our action yesterday and the action overnight. The chart on the screen here is the crude oil. Very disturbing to see this kind of a break and follow through. This was based on OPEC coming out yesterday and saying that they were going to increase production um, in the second half of this year. And of course, that just killed this market. I can't say that it was a complete surprise. We do have a small position on in the UCO. But balanced with the silver position that we had, it's still a pretty decent overall gain from last week and the week before. So, unfortunately, we were in it against all of these lows, and yesterday's announcement just collapsed it through. I want to show you something here on the weekly, and that is that we have really burst through to the downside this 200-week moving average. This is something that we have not closed below since we went back above it back in, well, let's put another year on this and you'll see. Since we went back through it to the upside in the first quarter of 2021. So we have gone through it multiple times, but we've never closed through it. And so we'll either see a bounce or we won't. I don't like the way the MACD is set up. And if you missed it, and I will post it as soon as we get off this, I will repost it in the Discord room. The chart that I used for this weekend, and basically it had these bottoms signified in it, but it also had this a little bit of a shoulder, head, and shoulder. And if you want to be, really a stickler for it, it still hasn't really broken what would be the neckline, and it may just be a continuation pattern. This is not enough of a low that it matters. Also, on the crossover on the MACD, I also want to point out that when we have crossed over in the past to the downside, the moves have been about 2/3 to 3/4 over. So when we cross down here, to the downside like we did last week, we had already gone from 95 into the high 70s. And then, of course, it took a little bit of a while. Remember, this is a weekly chart, so this is pretty much a quarter um, of consolidation around that line before we started up. The other chart that is somewhat disturbing to me is the copper chart. Copper is one of the best indicators of economic activity, and we have come down awfully hard. This is pretty much the same thing that we did the last time. This was an all-time high, and we went from that 504 all-time high down to $3.13, so a 40% decline in one quarter. So all-time high. Now we consolidated across, and we then broke out. And we were very bullish for the miners, both international and U.S. miners, in here in this consolidation between 360 and $4. We ran all the way up here to 520, actually 519.80, reversed immediately. Give you a look here. big week up, 38 cents, which was a huge percentage move, followed through, and then closed on the low. I would really uh, be surprised if we got back down to this 440 area, but I'm going to guess that I would probably be a little bit of a buyer, maybe a third or a half of a position if we in fact got there. As far as news goes, we have the Jolts, and that's the job openings, and uh, also we have April factory orders. Neither of those come out until 10 o'clock. As far as stocks go, Instagram testing some ads. Not very happy about it at Meta, but on top of that, Meta is also laying off some people. So that one's 474, down about three and a half. Taiwan Semiconductor talking about may increase production fees for NVIDIA. It's down $2 or 1.4%. Health Equity was a beat. Beat by 14 cents, beat on revenues, guided above consensus, revenues guided above consensus. The stock HQY 86 up 478. This is against the backdrop of a market that is, 100, 150 points isn't really what it used to be if you consider the percentage of it. But the Dow is down about 125, 140 in that range. The Nasdaq is down 66, and the S&P, which was up yesterday, although minorly, is down about 17. GitLab also beat by 7 cents. Guided above consensus, but having been on fire of late, GTLB 45.45, that's down $1.62. Lockheed Martin down a little, was awarded a $1.9 billion Army contract. Bath and Body Works beat by a nickel, beat on revenue, but poor guidance, below consensus, and just inline revenues. That one, BBWI, not to be confused with Bed Bath, 47 and a half, down $4.31 or 8%. Johnson & Johnson down about a half a buck. GameStop and AMC both down. GameStop is down 62 cents at 27.38, a far cry from the 48 it was trading at yesterday pre-open. AMC, this stock just languishes around $5. It's down 12 cents at 468. E-Trade, which is now owned by Morgan Stanley, is talking about um, banning Keith Gill, who got that big commotion started over the weekend and the other night. So we'll have to see how that goes. Okay, also the weakness in the energies is really translating everywhere in this market. Let me just go back here. We have the gold is down about $20, now down $16, down 70 cents in the silver. As I said, down about a dime in the copper. We have cotton down, coffee up a little, sugar basically unchanged, cocoa down a little. We have the dollar up a dime, which is pretty meaningless. And in all of this weakness, the bonds are up 18 30 seconds. Right now, NASDAQ is down about 53, and the Dow is down about 126. And let's see if we can get you a fresh S&P here. S&P is down 17.90, so down about $18. Those, as I said, the 10-year is trading around 436. It was down 11 basis points yesterday, down to the 440 level. So tomorrow is going to be a big day for numbers. I'll try and get them out to you as quickly as I can, but be careful out there. This is a very tough market.